Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. I'm here with my good friend Michael McMillan, who runs Financialize. And if you haven't heard of Financialize, you definitely will after this video. And I'm going to share a quick little story about Financialize. So before Michael became head honcho of it, I was using Financialize back. I think I started in 2017 or something along those lines. So almost a decade, and they have some of the best annuity leads. There's a lot of bogus information out there about annuity leads and this Facebook ad, this, that, the other. Some work, some don't. But the tried and true are the phone verified annuity leads. And they actually work. We have spent, I don't even want to know how much, probably like well over 100, maybe $200,000 with Financialize. Michael has a nice car, I'll just put it that way. But guess what? They actually work well. It's about, 500 bucks a lead, but at the same time, when I get that lead, if I buy 10 of them, we're able to close nearly 3 to 4 out of those 10. That's us. Even if you're brand new, even if you stick with the Northwestern Mutual rule of 10-3-1, if you look at the compensation that you could receive from the annuity sale by helping people preserve and protect their retirement versus the cost it takes to get in front of them, it's the deal of a lifetime. I think a lot of agents misunderstand business in general. And in the insurance space, you're like, oh, I only got a 20% margin. Like, that's massive. Like, a lot of places don't even get that. And here you have an opportunity to have 80 or 90% margins in this business, but you have to be consistent with it. And you actually have to work the leads. I always love that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross. The leads aren't weak, you're weak. It's like when people complain about leads, they all work. Even some of the ones that are not that great online, they can still work. But the problem is, I feel that we live in the laziest time frame with instant gratification, chat GPT, all these other things. And this industry, if you sign up and say, I want an insurance license, you basically have to, I think one of the processes has to state, I'm going to be incredibly lazy and not do much and complain a lot. But if you actually are one of the 1% that makes an effort, follows up with the leads, and works through the process, it actually works. So I won't ramble on too much more about that. I don't want to get up on my high horse here. Michael, go ahead. Take it away for us. Share some.
No, Roy. I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean, I think when we're speaking to agents and agencies and even IMO groups, we get asked a lot about like, either the cost or how these things work. And one of the things we always explain to them is the understanding of you kind of have two choices in this industry. You can either generate your own leads and have to start from scratch with that lead, which requires a ton of nurturing to get it to where it's an actual prospect, or you purchase it and you're basically, not having to deal with all the mess. And a lot of the, one of the big numbers I think that shocks a lot of people is our numbers, where if you look at our lead entry per day, we're generating thousands of leads per day, but we're only generating maybe 100, 200 priority leads each day. It's not a lot.
Mm,
But
wow.
to get there, you're talking about it's only about 4 to 5% of our total lead volume, right? I mean, everything
Interesting.
else is having to be worked and consistently kept up with. But the reason those priority leads are so hot is because we literally have just spoken with them. We just hung up the phone with them. And the bigger part is what we got on that lead. And that's where I think a lot of people misunderstand is it's not just a name, phone number, and email. You're getting like a light financial needs analysis, which is kickstarting your whole case design,
Mm,
right?
right.
And so you're now knowing how much investment do they have? Is the liquidity actually validated? Like the last thing you want is, of course, oh, it's a $2 million lead. Oh, but they're 48 and they're still working for the employer, and all of that's sitting in a 401k with them, right?
That
Like,
you can't touch.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like that is a waste of everyone's time, right? Or
Right.
my other one is, we see it a lot is, oh, this guy's calling because his mom's about to pass away and leave him the 3 houses she owns, and he's getting ready for a windfall. And is she terminal? No, but she just went to a nursing home. It's like, dude, that could be a month or it could be 10 years. Like, who
Yeah.
knows? And but that's all the stuff we filter through. So now when the
Mm,
agents are getting it, um, like I said, you've already got a head start. You're now down the path. But the thing like we're always trying making sure agents understand is what to do with it at that point. Because a
mm.
lead is only as good as what you're going to take to it next, right? Is what is the
Great
value
point.
going to add? Have you made sure you secured your own voice in the industry so you can show that you really know what you're talking about, right? Because
True.
I always tell people this isn't like selling car insurance or homeowners, like we were just talking about. This is you're working with a person's life savings. And this is a one-shot deal for a lot of people. And if they get it
Yeah.
wrong, they're screwed. And so you've got to make sure you can show them that um, level of knowledge and so that they can actually trust you what you're going to be able to do for them.
No, I agree with that 100% because a lot of the agents, they think differently. Like I feel a lot of people trying to get into the annuity space, they're coming from a background of final expense, Medicare, life insurance, and that's fair. I mean, that's how I came into about it. It's very rare that you get somebody that gets their insurance license, all their credentials, and they say, I'm just going to walk in and sell annuities. It's very challenging because you need a baseline. But agents get used to this baseline of, hey, look, the homeowner's lead may only cost me $20 or the mortgage protection lead may cost me $50 or $100. Why is this thing 5, 10 times, 15 times more expensive? Well, you also have to look at what you get paid for. You get paid for effort and return, okay? Now, it's much easier to your point to say, hey, Michael, what's your home and auto? Okay, let me shop it for you. Maybe I can save you some money. Everyone wants to save money there. And if you can achieve that with better or equal coverage, then yes, you're going to win a sale. But it's much harder to be like, hey, Michael, I'm this new guy in your life. You don't know me. I'm going to talk to you about something you've heard nothing but negative things about your whole life. Are you ready to sign over your life savings to me? Don't
Yeah.
worry. Trust me, it'll all work out. So it's a lot more work. It's relationship, not transactional. And in my opinion, you don't sell Medicare. You help people enroll. It's a mandatory option, right? Life
Yeah.
insurance is one of the easiest things to help people with because it's very straightforward. You die, they pay. Do you see the value in having coverage to replace your income and pay off the home? If you don't see the value, you're not a candidate for life insurance. Pack up the TP, boom, hit the road to the next person. But with annuities, it's like, hey, look, we got to really work this relationship. It takes some time, but that's why the compensation is what it is. If it was easy to sell, annuities wouldn't pay out these figures. They'd be paying out 1% or something much lower. But the reason why the compensation is so high, why agents are attracted to it, is because it's difficult and not everyone can do it. I tell agents this all the time. Imagine if every single person, every somebody with an insurance license could sell 10 annuities a week. Do you really think the compensation would be what it is?
No,
No, it wouldn't be. They would reduce it. But the insurance companies have to incentivize agents to become experts in this and relationship building so that they can receive those deposits and those premiums. And they know it's a challenging job, right? So, I mean, I think to your point as well, agents don't truly work the lead. Okay. Now I'm going to give everyone some free pro bono tips here. This is what we do, right? When we buy a lead from Financialize or any other lead source, remember, when you call them, you're just a salesperson. You have absolutely zero credibility, right? If you do a seminar or you're doing a webinar, it's a little bit different because you have this perceived value of an educator, a celebrity effect, right? But with an online lead or a phone verified lead, you're like, hi, this is so and so with annuities.net or whatever. You're limited in your ability to build rapport quickly based on the circumstances. So you want to come out of the gate with awesome rapport. Maybe you have a designation, maybe you're a certified financial fiduciary, maybe you're a registered Social Security analyst, whatever it may be. You want to come out of the gate with that. And there's a whole other topic. I don't want to bog our time down on how to open up with credibility. But the important thing is agents will complain that no one answers the phone. Guess what? No one ever answers the phone. Not in this world. Everything gets marked as spam. There's telemarketers, all this fun stuff. So what we do is we call them anyway, and guess what? They're not going to answer. And so we leave a voicemail. That's a lot of people disagree with that. I am a firm believer in leaving a voicemail because I want to see who it is. If I actually took the time to fill out a form online, and then I had a rep from Financialize call me to phone verified, I know that I'm going to be expecting somebody, okay? So we leave a voicemail, and then what we do is we use a program called Loom. We used to use BombBomb and some others. You can use whatever you want. It's a quick little video. And I would just be like, hi, Michael, my name is Roy. You filled out information about annuity rates or whatever the lead source is coming from, income, growth, MIGA rates. I wanted to let you know I am a real person. I'm not just an AI bot out there cruising around on the internet. I'm going to go ahead and send this to you in an email and I'll shoot you a text on it. Feel free to reach back out. We'll hop on a quick call. By the way, I work with multiple different companies. We provide non-biased information. We help thousands of people every year all across the country. And the next call that we have, it's not a sales call. I'm not going to try to push my timeshare on you. It's literally just information. With that information, if there's an area of need that we can help you with, awesome. we'd love to work with you. If not, that's okay too. I just want to be able to show the information since you requested it. I'm doing my job to help you get the information. Thanks so much. Bye. Boom. What was that, like 2 minutes or whatever? That's what we do. And we text that to them. We send them an email, and then we do a follow-up text. Hey, by the way, just want to make sure you got the link. It is a video link, because if you just text them randomly a link, like with Apple and Android, they'll like sometimes throw it into spam, but then you follow up with an actual text, and then you do the same thing on an email as well. So, because the emails will go to spam. So we will send a separate email with the text on it. Hey, look, we sent you a separate email with the video. Might have gone to spam because we haven't really communicated that much in the past. And we follow up that way. And then we let it sit. And we give them a call 3 days later. Then we call them again 3 days later. We keep following up with them for a long period of time. There are leads that we have worked with Financialize and others that have taken us 3 to 4 years to close. But they never said stop calling, right? They still are, we can see that they're opening up the email. It just may not be the right time for them. But if you keep working these in perpetuity, you're going to build a phenomenal book of business. Like on average, we write 3 to 5 million in premium, depending on the year, from people that we either have not even spoken to or spoken to years ago, because now is the right time. And you can build that as long as you're consistent with it. And I think one of the biggest problems is that agents will buy 3 to 5 leads. They don't get a sale. They say they don't work. Oh, really? They don't work? Is this why this company and all these other companies have been around for decades and hundreds and thousands of agents are buying leads because they don't work? They're just donating money to big companies. Is that why? Or is it you? So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, and Roy, you hit on something really important there too, which was in the beginning, we're talking about credibility and such, which I don't want to get down the two and then rabbit hole, because one of the things is we have so many new agents entering the market right now. And one of the things that I find ourselves talking to a lot with these guys is you don't have to have credibility day one. No one's going to. I mean, even you, right?
yeah,
Even me.
right.
I built it over time. I had to go do the efforting. I had to go take the classes, get the paper, get the designations and all those things. But the one thing I tell people anyone can do, and this is really when I started out in sales, this was the thing that I did, which was I learned quickly, all in a relationship-based sale, I just needed to have a point in which I can connect with the person. Something in common, something that them and I could talk about that had nothing to do with the topic. And it would allow for us to at least have a connection point. So if
Yeah.
they, and this is one thing I will say, so many agents have forgotten about is do your homework. Like when we give you a lead, like when we sell you the lead and you get
I was going to say, where's that? Sign me up.
exactly. But when you receive that lead, don't just pick up the phone and call.
Right.
Take a heartbeat. Go on Facebook, go on Insta, go on social media and see if you can find these guys. Just Google them, right?
Right.
And find something about them. If they're, the easy one, if they're, let's say, in Georgia and you're in Georgia, you got something to talk about. Hey, are you a
Yeah.
Bulldog fan? Right? Like,
Yeah. Go dogs. Right. Yeah.
I guess we both got dropped on our heads if you are. I mean, you should at least be rooting for the Volunteers, but come on. But, point is, and for me, early on when I had nothing, it was just, I was looking for people from Chicago because Chicagoans, we circle around each other and we try to help each other.
Yeah.
And,
Good point.
and I tell people, it's just look for anything, that one point of bonding and just bring it up in your conversation and it will open the door to trust because
Yes.
you now have something to talk about beyond, hey, give me your $300,000 that you just spent your entire life saving up so I can figure out how to get, put this into an annuity and give you lifetime income, right?
I
And
agree. Like checking Facebook and LinkedIn, like to your point, and then throwing a connection out there, right? Or a friend request, and then looking at it. I'm a football fan, don't get me wrong. Am I the biggest college fan? Not really. I'm more NFL. But what I'll do, like we get a lead in, especially here in Texas, right? We have A&M and Texas State, right? Like
okay.
those are, there's Texas State and then Texas, the Longhorns, all that. I'm gonna kind of look a little bit because that is like, if you are an Aggie fan and there are Texas State or Texas, right? Like there's a big difference, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get a little bit of bird dogging and then I'll look up like the quarterback, right? Hey, what do you think about, Michael McMillan, the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders or whatever, right? Let me give you a better team. Maybe like the Patriots or something. But what do you think about him? That's an opening up point. They're going to love to conversate about it because no one else is doing that. They're just being a salesperson. And the other bigger thing too that I tell everyone to do, even our internal team, I have to remind a few times. It's like, look, if I'm talking to Michael right now and he filled out the form, I'm working a lead with him. I'm gonna always ask, hey Michael, what's the best address I could send some information to? That way you have something physical to read on. Because if remember, you're just this virtual person. A lot of times, it's just phone. You're not even on that Zoom call yet. And if
Yeah.
you could send them something that builds a connection, right? And very few people have an objection to that because I'm not saying, hey, Michael, where do you live? I'm saying, what's the best address? And, sometimes there was one guy, I'll tell a quick story. He was kind of like rude and snippy. I'm like, dude, you filled this out. I'm just calling you back based on your request, right? And he goes, I don't give out my personal information. I don't give out my address. And I'm like, look, pretend it was, pick on you, Michael. I'd be like, look, Michael, I could just Google the county records right now for taxes, and I can find out everything about you. Unless you have it buried in some Wyoming trust or something. Like, I'm not going to do that, but I can. Like, we live in the world where it's not that. If you don't want to provide I will not send you anything. I will save the postage. He goes like, oh, you know what? That's a really good point. I guess you're right. Go ahead and send it. I'm like, I'm not going to go knock on your door, dude. Like, I'm not that desperate. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I've told people that. I was like, I'm not going to knock on your door. I'm not that desperate. I don't need to. I help so many people. You either want it or you don't. And that's that whole takeaway mentality and attitude that really helps too.
No, you got it. I mean, and that's the thing, Roy, is just like it's getting. I think the market in general just has to get back to an understanding is help first, like, and just connect with them, just get to know them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
our lead activation team who handles all the dialing, that is literally the biggest part of our training is take a minute and just talk to them. Especially you have to remember we're working with the senior market, right? A lot of these seniors, the thing that they're starved for is conversation and just someone to talk to them about anything. And what we have found is when we just take a minute to do so, even the agents who buy those leads and get those leads after a great conversation with the LAS, their conversion numbers are higher. And similar,
Yeah.
we tell them, we're like, look, just talk to them, get to know them a little bit, understand, like, hey, yeah, their biggest problem today was their biscuits burned and their grandkids are at home. Like,
Yeah.
talk to them about it. Like, at least have that conversation. This is not transactional. And that'll be the last one I'll mention, which is just like that is where the danger for when you're coming into the annuity side is this isn't Medicare, this isn't PNC, this isn't cheap life. This is relationship because it's complex on many levels, and you got to be able to get into the weeds with these people and have uncomfortable conversations with them that have to happen. And
Right.
if you treat this as a transaction, you're going to fail. But if you treat it as a advisory and really trying to just help them, which may lead you to not actually getting a policy out of them, which in many cases is the better sale. And I mean, we can go through a million stories of that. I mean, I'll just tell you
Yeah.
one quick one, which was I had a lady, her name was Denise in California. This is early in my career when I was, still schlepping. And I was talking to her actually about initially an IUL policy and a life insurance policy. And we got into her retirement, which led to the annuity conversation. And as we got down through the path of it, she just, one, didn't have the assets, and two, just was not in a place to where she could make this investment. And
Right.
what I did was, though, is instead, we went through her Social Security, we went through her pension, we went through the impacts of it, we designed it out. I'm like, look, Denise, this is the best you're going to be able to do. You need to probably be prepared to probably work another 5 more years. And she was already
Yeah.
7, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Be
but
straight up. Right.
from that meeting, Denise ended up referring me 15 separate people from the school district she was in and worked in. And I ended up closing 7 of those 15 deals. And
Wow.
I tell people that story all the time because I said, look, I didn't earn a penny from Denise, or did I? I saved myself a lot of money because I got a
Yeah.
lot of conversations from it. And you have to look at the world in that context of not every lead may actually buy something from you, but every lead is an opportunity to generate more leads. And that ROI is the multiplication effect. And that is really what agents need to be focused on is buy one lead, get 5 referrals. You just 5x your investment. And
Totally. Yeah.
it's your ROI on that investment. So, and that's one of the biggest things we coach, and I try coaching to agents, especially new agents coming into this market, because there is a flood of them right now. And it's really making sure they understand this is not something you're going to sell in that first call. It might not even be something you sell in the first month. This might be, like you said, a couple years down the road, but the payoff is well worth the time.
Totally. No, that's a great point. You guys, everyone that listening to this, depending on when you're listening to it, Michael's actually going to be speaking at our Annuity Producers live conference, sharing this information. If you want more information about buying leads online for annuity, go to financialize.com. They have a great website, easy to work with. And again, I don't promote anything unless we've actually used it and it works. We've had lots of opportunities of sponsorship. Okay. They're not paying. This is a friendship call. Okay. We're not being paid to promote things. We actually use the system and we pay the same price that you do. It's a great system and it actually works. Okay. And so there are other lead sources that are also good, but you should try Financialize if you're really looking to diversify your lead source. Like our main juice is seminars and workshops, in-person stuff. But in this business, you have to diversify. Like I might get 5 Financialize leads during Thanksgiving time frame, but no one's going to come to a workshop and see me Thanksgiving week, right? You have to diversify this stuff, or there's big storms, people don't come. You have to have extra lead sources coming in, and don't be cheap. Invest into yourself. Don't go out there and buy a new car, a new watch. I have agents all the time. I closed this commission and I bought a Rolex. I'm like, that's awesome. Did you save money for taxes? Did you reinvest in yourself? Did you buy more leads? Nope, just bought the Rolex and now I'm going to try to figure it out. But this watch will get me more sales. No, it won't. Okay. It'll stroke your ego. That's about it. Now, once you get to a certain point in life, like I'm a very simple person, but I do like nice watches. But I've always invested in the business and myself primarily. So everyone, I hope that was helpful. Check out Financialize. And until next time, we'll talk to you then.